The Shia identity. Oh, they're the Muslims that wear tattoos. Is this what we as a community want to be known for?
Well, we're known for that for a few reasons. Why?
One of the most ways that I would identify as a Shia in public is dressing in black and going to majalis.
Muharram Safar, black.
2 months that you're wearing black and you're shouting Labbaik Ya Hussein. What about the rest of the 10?
Oh, that's a really good question.
The head abaya, in a world that is very materialistic, very objectifying, very sexualizing, that screams volumes.
Those who are anti-Turbah can be quite intimidating.
In med school, there's Shia who come and pray in the salah room and be afraid to put a turbah down because they're going to get judged by the Sunni guys.
Judged or harassed?
You know what it is? I'll be very frank with you.
Islam can be represented without a dishdasha, bro.
I agree. I totally agree.
They'll make fun of you regardless, whether you're wearing a dishdasha, a shal, or whatever. Who are they to, have an opinion and superimpose it on you? However,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the Shia Vibes podcast, the podcast that discusses different themes, topics and subjects within the Shia community. This episode, we're looking at how do I show my Shia identity in public? Is it okay for me to walk around with my Zulfiqar around my neck? When I'm in public, can I pray with my Turbah or not? Should I be a lead example representing my community? Or is it okay if I'm seen in places that are normally okay to be seen at, for example, a restaurant that serves alcohol and so forth? Inshallah, joining us for this discussion is a lovely Sayyid from Najaf, originally from Dearborn. I've had the pleasure of going ziyarah with him, and he is also a teacher at the seminary in Najaf. It is Sayyid Muhammad Hassan Al-Shar'i. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and welcome to the Shia Vibes podcast.
thank you for welcoming me. It's an honor to be here with you all again.
Did I say the surname right? Al-Shar'i.
Al-Shara', yeah.
Al-Shara'.
Yeah, like Sharia law.
Sharia, exactly. That's how I remember it, but it's very difficult at times.
No, you did it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Say Muhsin Shah. That's
Shah,
all right?
Shah is fine.
Okay.
Also joining us on the discussion is a familiar face on Imam Hussein TV3. It is Stanmore's finest, Ali Hassan Jagani. Assalamu alaikum wa
Alaikum
rahmatullah.
assalam wa rahmatullah, Sayyidina. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Jambo Sana,
Alhamdulillah.
Bariyako, Mazuri Sana.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Nice, fantastic.
So he tried Gujarati the first time and then Swahili the second time.
This time Swahili.
Very nice, very nice.
Jagani speaks many languages.
But could be some Mzungu. You know what Mzungu is?
No.
I'll give you a time to look that up, inshallah. Another day.
Inshallah, another time. But tonight's topic is in regards to the Shia identity. And mashallah, Sayyidina, you've come with the right uniform.
So have you.
Have I? I mean, I'm covering most of my skin. But Shia identity in public, and how should we show our Shia identity in public? I guess a good way to start is, do we need to actually be very apparent and very, out there showing our Shia identity? Or is it more to do with following the Sharia, that, you cover what you're supposed to be covering and have your social hijab?
It's always positive to express your values and your beliefs and your wala to Ahlul Bayt in any capacity. And they are the ones who taught us, Kunu Zaynan lana. Be an adornment for us. Make sure that when people see you, they see, oh, this is a follower of the Ahlul Bayt. Look at how they carry themselves with such elegance, they're clean, they have class. And I think if one way we could identify Tashayyu is going to be through high class. A Shia is someone that's always on top of their game, whether it's through their fashion, whether it's through the way they carry themselves. They don't snap, they don't lose their temper. Let that be the standard as to what apparently a Shia can come across as. Additionally, there are some iconographies and symbolism that also helps insist that, look, I promise I'm a Shia. Can you not see the size of the little fiqar I got? Tattoos are interestingly
that's one of the big indicators,
topic.
Isn't it?
It's a topic that is one which people are disorientated about for a lot of reasons, but many will find it a way of expression, and they'll say, look, I'm a Shi'i because I love Ahlul Bayt so much, I'm gonna have to imprint them on my body. not knowing that sometimes what you put on your body, if it's done in a way that could be even considered insulting to the Ahlul Bayt, may not even be allowed. Sometimes people print ayat of the Holy Quran, which is not allowed. Sometimes people put the names of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt. These are names that we can't touch unless we have wudu.
Correct.
And so having them on your body, there are times that you're not always in the state of tahara. There are times, etc. So I think there are more effective ways to be expressive with one's tashayyuh, but everyone has their own preferences, and I believe it's also circumstantial based on time, place. But the default is it's always a lovely thing to do.
I mean, do we as Shia, because you mentioned tattoo, and this is one of the most controversial in the Muslim world. You know, you see, you know, someone might see a muhajjiba, you know, shopping or whatever, and they'll notice maybe a tattoo on the hand or something like that. Is this what we as a community want to be known for? Oh, they're the Muslims that wear tattoos and things like that.
Well, we're known for that for a few reasons. Why? We're known because the alternative, and I'd love to see Brother Ali Hassan's take on this, because you deal with a lot of people of all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
So the guy says Alhamdulillah. So
Can I say?
so no, Alhamdulillah for everything. It's because it's haram in the non-Shia world. Flat out hadith in Sahih Bukhari that says it's haram. The one who gets the tattoo and the one who does the tattoo.
Okay.
It's a sin. So the only other Muslim that'll get tattoos is someone who had a past that they were probably before Islam, or a Shia.
Yeah.
And so we can be identified as such. Like I say this a lot, you know, it's like the tattoo, it can be all nice if it's straight up within the range of halal, but, you know, wearing the Zulfiqar and all of these other symbolism should be found inside a person rather than outside of a person first. And of course, if someone decides to do this because, listen, I'm going to do it, at least do it, at least don't make it ugly. I swear. So,
I agree. Wallah, I
At
agree.
least
Some of
don't make
these
it
tats, man. You
at
see them.
least don't make it.
So, which bad ones have you seen?
I thought I saw a monkey.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, that's what was a monkey supposed to be? That's supposed to be Dhul Janah. I'm like, bro.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
A monkey?
Yeah. From what I thought was a monkey, is like, no, this is supposed to be Dhul Janah. I'm like, why does it look like that? He's like, oh, the artist didn't know, but you still went ahead with it? He's like, yeah. You know, things like this, like, it's whatever. I guess my body, my choice has another meaning in Tashayya.
Yeah. Oh,
Allah.
But in this context, it's like, okay, I have a dilemma. Just because it's not haram doesn't mean it's okay. So is it the wisest choice, for example? At the same time, I don't want to throw a whole group of amazing, bright Muslimin, mu'mineen under the bus. Like, look, I'm going to get I don't care. I'm not violating anyone. It's not ugly. And even if it's ugly, it's my choice. Did I do a sin? No, you didn't. Good job. Good job. You didn't sin at all, and that's totally fine. I'm not here to judge you. But if we're talking about, let's say, for example, expressing Tashayyu and Shi'ism, I would love to hear Ali Jilani's take
Of
on that.
expressing Tashayyu? So, to be honest, right now, I think we're at one of the lowest points of our community as the thing being proud to be Shias. Slowly now, after, I think, I'll be frank with you, with what you're seeing with Iran and stuff, some of the Shabab have now become quite proud again to say we're publicly Shia. But we're living in an era where I go to university, in med school, there's Shia who come and pray in the salah room and be afraid to put a turbah down because they're going to get judged by the Sunni guys.
Judged or harassed?
You know what it is? I'll be very frank with you. The way they see it is, oh, I'm a fresh 18 or 21 or whatever it is, and I don't want to cause problems. I don't want to cause fitna. But
You
know what?
understand? Like, do you sympathize with that? Or?
You know, I'll be frank with you. I do sympathize it to a very good degree. But the difference is that you don't have to compromise your beliefs when you're living in a Western country where it's openly allowed to practice, where they've set up salah rooms for you to pray, and they have CCTV and all these things and stuff.
The reality still is that these guys will still hit your turbah, though. You know?
Okay, I'll give an example that happened recently at BOTS. Okay, BOTS is meant to be one of the most institutionalized, respectful organizations because they've got a salah room. They left our turbah box with multiple turbah outside, open with pieces of gum, so they stick to the windowsill.
I've seen turbahs in the bathroom.
Yeah, of course, watered down. I've seen it at Kings. They water them
I've
down.
seen them. They pick them up.
I'm naming universities because this is an honest thing that I've seen myself.
I'm not just pushing back on you.
Yeah, no.
I don't blame like the 17-year-old who's like, okay, I'm gonna do it in the back and I'm gonna hold it and I'm not gonna put it down.
No, you tell me, say it. I'm telling you honestly. Now, for example, I'll give you one example. This Shabab, I spent time with him a lot last year. And what I said to him is, I go to pray at the same time as you. Pray next to me. I put my turbah down. I promise you no one will say anything.
See, that's effective.
Yeah?
That's effective.
I'm telling you now, alhamdulillah, I see him in the salah room. he goes and looks to see if there's a turbah. And I told him sometimes there won't be one. So I've given him one. He keeps it with him now. And he told me, bro, it changed me because now I'm not afraid because I know that at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything haram. I'm practicing my beliefs correctly. And when they come up to me, alhamdulillah, now he's more confident to speak out about why he's praying.
That's one thing I wanted to mention was that a lot of our brothers and sisters who go to pray may not have the right credentials or the skills to discuss or to deal with confrontation. That because sometimes those who are anti-turbah can be quite intimidating, and it takes a certain character, certain charisma, certain technique on how to do dialogue and how to talk and discuss. But like you said, you shouldn't be compromising your own faith. And if you've got a turbah that you own, use it and put it back in your pocket.
Exactly,
Walk straight out. There's no need to even entertain a conversation if you don't want to.
And another thing, I know it sounds very silly to say, one thing that really bugs me in the modern generation, you've definitely seen this because I know it's in the UK, so it has to be in America. Sure. Because fitna here is definitely fitna there.
You guys bring your fitna across the ocean.
Yeah.
I've seen this new trend. You'll see Shia guys who'll wear rings on it, this finger, this finger, this finger, that finger. You'll see that it's a cool thing now.
Thanos.
Literally, he's collecting infinity stones now. And I'm thinking, but he won't wear an aqiq on his right hand, even though Imam Sadiq says it's one of the signs of being a mu'min.
Oh, okay. So the fingers on the other digits is fashion. It's not even aqiq.
No. I'm seeing guys wear like silver Cartier rings on their left or right index finger now because it's a cool trend because some model did it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a little thing that's recently become quite common is that they'll get a piercing on their ear or on their lip. I'm thinking, you're a guy, like, what are you doing? Like,
lip.
I promise you, I've seen it. I'm thinking, Shabab will come to brace it out with it. And I'm thinking,
what? Pakistani, we get our ears pierced all the time. It's normal where we come from.
Yeah, Pakistani, fair enough. But I'm saying, and you'll see people wearing aqiqs on their earrings. Even this, I wanted to get your take on it. Because you'll see a different generation, the older generation, I'd say maybe my parents' generation, who've come from conservative African backgrounds or traditional Khoja backgrounds, or even Iraqi backgrounds, where they'll see Muslim guy with an earring. What's this? But in a Pakistani culture, it's very much accepted because it's seen as a norm that they did in their community and a cultural thing.
Yeah, especially Sadat, the Sayyids. They have to have their ears. But my father's ears are pierced.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, apparently there's a riwayah in regards to that. But it is a way of identifying Shias in Pakistan, especially the Sadat, that they have a ring and it has like a aqiq dangling on the bottom. So, Sayyidina, your take on it.
Starting with the rings firstly on the random fingers.
The rings on the random fingers.
Because it really bugs me.
So it's like jewelry, it's fashion.
It's a fashion statement, but you'll tell them, I promise you, I've had conversations with Shabab, my age and younger, and sometimes a lot older even, and they won't be wearing an aqiq on their right hand, and I'll tell them, please bro, I'll buy you the aqiq, just wear it.
So buy me one.
Yeah, people like to try things that they just want to do, and they justify it as, I'm not doing anything haram, and I know I'm foregoing what is very much recommended in mustahab. What's the big deal? I would say to that is, like you said, you're a Muslim and you should have priorities in life. Muslims that celebrate Christmas, for example, like, why, man? Like, why? He's like, well, because they'll justify, if they will justify Jesus and, Maryam alayhi salam, but the data doesn't even it's not consistent with him being born. So that excuse is a bit whatever. It's like, but still people are remembering him. Why don't we? I'm like, that's fine. But okay, fine. Get your priorities straight. On the birth of the Prophet, you get a Santa that's 5 times fatter. You get a tree that's 10 times bigger. You pass around twice as more gifts. You're a Muslim, man. Prioritize what you have. Birth of Isa is your excuse to be very jolly and happy. For the birth of the Prophet, you got to go on steroids in regards to how expressive you become and how happy you are. It's the birth of your Nabi, man. We have a'yad, we have celebrations. So I think there's been a mismanagement of some priorities here and there, even though, alhamdulillah, it's within, maybe one can claim, a safe range of what's it's not haram to have a ring here. It's not the most decent as a Shi'i when you have Imams of Ahlul Bayt telling you, alamat al-mu'min khams. At-takhattum bil-yamin is one of those. Yeah. And your Ahlul Bayt told you that. And as a Shi'i, if you're not going to follow Ahlul Bayt, what do you expect a non-follower of Ahlul Bayt to follow Ahlul Bayt? You have priorities here. Get on to it. But that's just barakah and tawfiq and blessings. It's not wajib, sure. But once again, get the priorities straightened out, inshallah ta'ala. Try your thing once or twice. But let it be the case that you have a goal to get closer to Allah by implementing these lovely teachings and reminders and pieces of advice. What was the other question?
So I was going to ask Mr. Jigani actually, how do you show your Shia identity in public, or what does that mean to you?
Let's start off with you though.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
from a different generation, so let's start with you.
For me,
Different
it was,
generation, both me and Thingy, by the way. Me and Say are the same generation.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So for me, showing my Shia identity in public, the first thing was to have a beard. So you know, it was very as soon as the hair grew on my face and it connected, or I had something that was considered a beard, I kept it and I never shaved it off. Keeping the mustache and not shaving that off was very, very prominent.
Shia.
Yeah, very shitty.
Okay, nice.
To keep the mustache.
Do you rock the Zulfiqar necklace?
When I was younger, I did.
Yeah.
But that was because it was very fashionable to have pendants.
I see no issue with that.
You know, my Zulfiqar wasn't a big one though. I like the petite, small ones.
It wasn't life size.
No.
I've
Got one though, but I never wore it around my neck. I actually put it in my car in my rear view mirror to hang down like that.
Nice.
But yeah, a small one I rocked for a bit. Aqiq, yeah, I used to have the Aqiq.
Any tattoos?
Tattoos, getting a bit
No
personal.
comment, no comment?
I have some.
No comment?
Yeah. But they're not visual. You
Are
can't
they
see
ugly?
them. Are they ugly?
The way his chest hair has grown, I can
I spent
yes.
good money. I spent good money on them, Said that.
Oh, okay.
I got some proper
no
artists to do.
No judging.
But I wouldn't say my tattoos are a form of my Shia identity.
They're just you.
My tattoos aren't even like that religious, you know. They're just sentimental things. What I would say is one of the most ways that I would identify as a Shia in public is dressing in black and going to majalis. Azar in public. Whether that was just walking down shouting Labayka Ya Hussein in the Masira, whether that was doing a latam, whether that was listening to a Masaib and crying in Marble Arch. That was probably the most, and arguably the way I wanted to be identified.
Beautiful.
As showing my Shia identity in public.
Very nice. How about you?
I'll be frank with you. So I agree in terms of, for me, my parents raised me in a very, alhamdulillah, very well-respected understanding of the Ahlul Bayt are always the priority. So in my household, for 2 months, 8 days, they would be black. They wouldn't just be black. My grandparents, they used to sleep on the floor for that period of time. So I saw all that and I understood that the Ahlul Bayt has to come above me. So for me, it was like, for example, Muharram Safar, black. Even going out with the boys doesn't exist. Banter for sports doesn't exist. Those 2 months, priority is if I can get to as many majalis, 100%.
So those are 2 months that you're wearing black and you're shouting Labayk Ya Hussein and wearing black. What about the rest of the 10?
And then I was going to say,
that's a really good question.
The rest of the year.
I hope you guys are enjoying the discussion. The Shia Vibes podcast relies on your interaction. Now, whether you're following us on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, make sure you like, share, and comment. All of the comments are responded to. We check them, we reply to them, and you never know, we might be sharing your comment on one of our episodes. So make sure you continue to support the Shia Vibes podcast and be part of the vibe. See you soon.
Even when it came down to wilada, my mom would send food to like our neighbors, and they'd be like, "What's today?" And we'd say, "Oh, it's the birth of the Prophet." It's the birth of...
So that's
those sort of...
14 wiladat at 14 days.
No,
plus
these are
2
like
months
small
as well.
things. I'm saying building into it. Like,
What
for
about
example,
the rest of it?
And I think one of the big things was my mom always told me that your akhlaq with non-Muslims will define you as a Shia.
There you go. That's lovely.
Still till today, if she sees me, like, I'll be like, I won't say in a disrespectful, he's not even a Muslim, man. Why you? He won't even understand. My mom's like to me, doesn't matter. Have you seen? And sometimes I say the most silly things and I'll get vexed. Like, mom's like, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he worked with Jews. He didn't work with Muslim and Shia. You can't. Where were the Shia in his time? Who supported? But look at his akhlaq with them. Look at how he behaved with them. Till today, in my work, whenever it comes down to customer complaints, they give the most difficult patients to me a lot of the times. And they'll be like, because you stay calm when they get aggressive.
What do you work?
So I work in optics and I'm studying medicine. Okay. So I a lot of the time have a lot more like the geriatric patients.
So they give you the very hard to work with
people who for example, have already been there's like 3-4 strikes. Yeah, exactly. And for me, I take it as alhamdulillah, look, my akhlaq is showing such that even the workplaces notice that if I can maintain the akhlaq throughout it, why not? It's a good representation of Islam. For example, another thing was at university, a lot of the time, I know it sounds very silly, but one of the things we implemented, and I made sure that I told the guys that like we make a priority that these Sunnis, they'll do Jum'ah, no matter what, they'll have Jum'ah, they won't do anything like that Friday. Us, Salat time comes, we're at uni, let's go pray together. even if I have to leave a lecture, excuse me, can I leave and stuff? Because it creates that culture that this person values his religion. This person understands that there's something above him. He doesn't see himself as the be all and end all. And because I started to bring those ethics with me, I think that I've been able to pass it on with my brother. I've been able to pass it on to some of the younger shabab. So I think that was my main identity thing. Obviously, there was the ring, naturally, the aqiq and such. There was a taweez. I don't know if you guys had taweez when you were younger. Taweez too, I was like, I don't know what age. I lost it a few times and such.
That's what it's meant to do though. You lose it means it's working.
I don't know.
What about you, Sayyidina?
Yeah, Habibi. I couldn't agree more with actually the both of you guys. I really love what you said about let your akhlaq be the identifying factor of your identity and your hawiyya, ash-shi'iyya, as we say. And I think that's the way to do it. Let your standard be so high that when people see how impressive your mannerism is, they could just say the claim is that he owes it to his tashayyu. He or she, our sisters especially. The head abaya speaks more than any lecturer can ever speak. In a world that is very materialistic, very objectifying, very sexualizing, to find in the West especially a sister that decides to don the abaya of a Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam amidst the chaos of all the objectivity going around, that screams volumes. I don't think that screams volumes. It screams that I don't care about the impression of others. I will do what I need because it makes me closer to Allah. It makes me more modest. It makes me much more respected. And you would be surprised. Many people respect when a person is principled.
Yeah.
In our world, we have to avoid handshakes with the same gender. We have to excuse ourselves from gatherings that might have alcohol randomly, music that's played. We have to walk around it. We have to get around this. There's a lot going. I notice people respect that. They'll notice that you're principled. Everyone's having a good time. You're the odd one out, not eating. Why? Because it's not halal. I'm going to be that guy, the black sheep. What's the big deal? You're very principled. It's beautiful. One of the biggest moments for me is graduation, and you're all going to get your diploma, and you have to shake hands with the board,
dean.
Dean, and this and that, and there's a whole squad of obviously not from the same gender, and it's just one of these ones all the way through. And people respect that. There's no issue. If someone gets offended because you're principled, that's their issue, not yours. And you don't just conform to the expectation of society. That, to me, is the most optimal way to express your tashayyu'. More than what any Zulfiqar, as nice as it is, can do, what any decent, I guess, tattoo would do. Then we get to the point, and you mentioned it nicely. You said, you got your beard kicking in and you decide to embrace it totally because, let this be my new identity now. You know what? You say that, it sounds like it's obvious. It's not really the common thing these days, even though it's straight up wajib, based on obligatory precaution on all of these maraja that existed. And so it's like, why? Because al-hijab, according to one tradition, is the hijab, al-lihya hijab al-rajul. The beard is the hijab of the man. So getting rid of that is getting rid of your hijab. Depending on how you can grow it, if you can grow it, it's fine. But then we held ourselves to a high standard. You look at the Shia and you see that they take good care of things like this. Their facial hair structure, they take care of the way they're clothed. They don't look like a caveman, for example. They smell good. They have a comb with them. Do you have a comb on you? I got one.
I have one normally in my jacket, but I took a lot of my stuff out of the jacket because it was looking really bulky.
Do you even use it?
No, I don't have much. I just came back from Umrah, so it's just going back slowly.
Okay.
It's been a few weeks.
Having a comb on you. I mean, we have the hadith that says the Prophet had three things on his person, sallallahu alaihi wasallam: a comb, a miswak, the siwak for the teeth, and as well as a mirror. So he would always pull that out. You could use that with your phone these days.
Yeah, of course.
Your phone, make some adjustments. I saw how many of us carry the miswak with us wherever we go to make sure our teeth are always nice and fine and clean. That teaches you a standard. The Prophet would emphasize things: do not be excessive in anything except fragrances.
I promise you one thing. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I know it sounds silly. Me and my brother, we collect perfumes. It's one of those things I love smelling good.
According to Islamic
and you've heard like so many riwayat about Imam Rada, how much he used to spend on perfumes, and Imam Hussein, how much he used to give away gifts, and one of the main things they would gift is perfume. Until today, I think one of the things we give to anybody that comes, for example, for a majlis at our house, we always say, my mom would say perfume. Attar is like the thing to give.
Even
because
Sayyidina Oud has become so popular in the last 10
Big
years.
time.
Nice.
The big brands, I don't need to mention their names, but you know them.
Yeah.
You know, they've all introduced their own versions of oud fragrances. You know, and that originally oud is from India, isn't it? The wood, the
It's
actual wood.
sandalwood tree oil that's pulled out naturally from the wood, and it just smells so beautiful. There's ambergris, which is a natural note found inside the bellies of whales. Interestingly, it smells beautiful. Al-ambar, you hear poems about ambar and regarding to the love of Imam Hussein and things like that. It's just to show you that, listen, يعني احنا as Muslims and lovers of Ahlul Bayt, we should really take care of ourselves and make a
100%.
really nice impression that
So glad I got
before they
trimmed for the podcast.
begun speaking, that you just are attracted to look how they carry themselves.
So let's build on that, Sayyidina. Because I come from a culture where, you know, we call smart casual. The clothes are baggy, but it's not something you could wear to a job interview or to court. So, should we as Shia, how should we be dressing? Should we, not particularly the actual garments, but what genre should we be dressing up as if we're gonna, you know, go and present ourselves in front of a king?
Interestingly,
should we dress up comfortable?
we have hadith that tell us خير اللباس ما يلبسه الناس. The best of clothing is that which the majority of people are wearing.
Okay.
That just means that what the urf decides as formal, you should stay within that range. This urf meaning the psychosocial norm of society. Society deems ripped up clothing as something not decent, and that should stay the way it is, because it doesn't take a genius to understand that. But it also has made it clear that baggy clothing may be affiliated with groups of people that are individuals who may not be interested in, you know, people that are interested in, let's say, heavy music, heavy metal.
I'll say it for you.
The clothing is quite clear.
No, it's about grunges and punks.
That's what I'm saying.
Goths.
Like a ghetto lifestyle that doesn't entertain a world
Basically.
of, for example, decency, drugs, money, music, degeneracy, intimacy only. It's just senses, just feelings, nerve ending tingling. It's like feel good only. There appears to be a fashion trend affiliated with that. If you could look more like this,
tracksuits,
pretty much, and that doesn't mean that if a person has that, that's them. But it's called in the fiqh libas al-shuhra. And it's the kind of clothing that insists that, look, I don't care if I look like bad people, and that's haram for us to wear. Men wearing women's clothing, women wearing men's clothing. Libas al-shuhra. But then men wearing
100%.
the clothing that bad men wear is also haram. Women wearing clothing that bad women wear is haram. Like, who decides that? The urf, the psychosocial norm. Today, society determines that being dressed with class, clean, is something praiseworthy. Then there are cultural contributions. If you're from Pakistan, the medium length qamis that goes down to one's knees, the shawl, things of that nature. I mean, there's no issue with that, because in that society, that group of nas find that as formal and nice. Trying to converge them where other people may not necessarily see that is not wrong, but don't insist necessarily that me wearing a dishdasha from Basra, Iraq, and for example, a very fancy event in Manhattan will come across as thank you for catching the memo.
Yeah,
Not.
I agree. Like, you know, sometimes you see these guys wearing dishdasha at university and stuff, and I'm like to them, bro, what's the special occasion and such?
It might be the case, but carry on with that thought.
But then their logic is that I'm representing Islam. I'm like, how?
Islam can be represented without a dishdasha, bro.
I agree. I totally agree.
Islam can be represented in hijab, which can be found without necessarily wearing a dishdasha and drawing attention to you all the time.
Agreed.
Until you say you don't like attention, look what you're doing. And if you're gonna draw positive attention. Then if you're gonna by all means do that, bro. I don't care, but do that, and then please be a good ambassador, because people are gonna be looking at you like Muslim identity, easily identifiable. Exactly. beard and everything there is to them. The dishdasha is up to the knee at that point. First of all, who says that's Islam? That's culture. That could be a Hijazi culture of some Arabian peninsula, and that's just totally what they wear there because it's hot, whatever. Come to the world of the Prophet and the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, and you'll see them very clearly. There, by the way, appears to be a type of development from the time of the Prophet during the time of someone like Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam. They say to him, Ibn Rasulullah, you are wearing clothing that's considered quite decent. Whereas we know your father, Ali ibn Abi Talib, wore clothing that was considered coarse.
Yeah.
Coarse in Arabic is suf. And so why aren't you wearing the coarse clothing? The famous story, Imam Ali buys 2 garments of clothing and he gives one to Ghambar. And he's like, I'm going to take this one. He's like, but you took the less expensive one? Yeah, Amir al-Mu'mineen. He's like, yeah, that's me. I represent people. And I can't represent them if I, even in my attire, am more outstanding. I have to represent the lowest of them so that everyone else can sympathize and relate to me. Otherwise, if I dress in a way that the lowest can't relate to, then they can't relate to me.
100%.
So let me come down to their level.
Yeah.
Whereas Imam As-Sadiq may have had clothing that was seen as very decent. And so they asked him this question. He's like, Imam Ali, my father was a what? Was a leader, and he had to represent his people. I am a scholar in this context. He puts it in that format. Additionally, suf, coarse clothing, today is being worn by a club of people that are now projecting a new theology called Sufism.
Okay.
That wasn't existent during the time of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. And then in Al-Kafi, Imam Ali Imam As-Sadiq does la'na on the Sufis.
Okay.
Now, what Sufis are we talking about? It appears to be there was a group then. That version of Sufism.
Not the.
I don't know. They could affiliate with that as part
Yeah.
of maybe a proto group of theirs. But in that context, Imam As-Sadiq saw a group and he's like, if I wear their clothing, I'm endorsing them. It's like, but Imam Ali wore them. Well, he didn't know. These guys were non-existent. So the dynamic has shifted. The urf has changed.
Do you not feel also at Sam Imam Rada, because he was a crown prince, a lot of people, he told his own community, because he had to integrate himself into the society, to not show Ma'mun and stuff that he's trying to go against it, he had to behave in a certain way.
In many ways.
Today, for example, we're living in a Western country, necessarily I would dress like this to go to university because I know that maybe my behavior will show a better version of Islam than just me dressing in his dasha, and then somebody tells you, bro, why you dress like this? Or why are you behaving like this when you're dressed like a Muslim?
You look like the kuffar, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Far. So listen, let people judge. They'll make fun of you regardless, whether you're wearing a dasha, a shal, or whatever. And who are they to have an opinion and superimpose it on you? However, you should also be in a position where you say to yourself and to others that whatever I wear, I'm not disobeying Allah. And if it bothers you, that's your issue. If a sister wants to wear an abaya in university, because it's not so common, people will complain about her. She should not feel dismotivated. She should not
very
feel...
common now. It's because it's, alhamdulillah, it's very common, I'd say, in university.
Yeah.
Best, I'd say, what I was trying to say with the point of dishdasha, I love wearing dishdasha.
Are you sure about that?
Against it. Wallah, it's one of my most comfortable clothing.
It is comfortable and it's easy.
And it looks so elegant and so blissful.
Put it on, you're done.
It's the best.
But you know what we were talking about earlier in terms of the akhlaq that has to come with it.
Yeah.
Now the akhlaq that doesn't come with it is the sense that, for example, that same Muslim brother will then be speaking ill about somebody else while dressed like that. Now it gives the connotation that this is how Muslims behave. That they stick in their own cliques. That they only do associate themselves.
I agree.
Do you see what I mean?
No,
this is where the problem comes in.
100% agree with you. On the plane arriving today, I landed just a few hours ago, by the way, but I had to make it. On the plane, the guy looks at me next to me. He's like, "You look like Jesus." I'm like, "My honor, because I was literally wearing all this."
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
It's like my honor.
Oh,
Was that supposed to be an insult? Alhamdulillah, man.
Was he Christian?
I was not Muslim yet.
I should have said, why aren't you dressed like Jesus then?
That's a fair point. He's like, "Yo, I just wear the cross, akin to our Zulfiqar."
Yeah, wallah.
So, no, alhamdulillah wa shukr. Our Shi'ism needs to be apparent, I think, based on every circumstance. It's circumstantial. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib says, alayhi salam, istur thalath, conceal 3 things at times. He does add madhabak. Sometimes your madhab needs to be concealed.
Wow.
In what context? Maybe you're in a zone whereby showing off the madhab loud and clear with the tawali and the tabarri might lead to you being in serious trouble, getting arrested, others getting hurt as well. He's like, if it's that extreme, finish your hajj. Just finish it. You don't have to do that right there. There are times where we're persecuted. Saddam's time, many of the Shia pretended they were non-Shia. I mean, that's normal.
Yeah.
Madhabak, وَذِهَابَكَ. Dhihab is traveling. Sometimes you travel a lot. Let the world not necessarily see you get the privilege of traveling all over the world. Why? It shows that, look, why are you more privileged than I am? It just it births envy. وَذَهَبَكَ, and your gold. I mean, that one's obvious. People are envious out there and they may not want the best for you. And so there are things we conceal based on circumstances, and there are things we should be almost loud and proud about, but clever and wise with how we navigate that. And I think that's been the whole gist of our conversation.
There's one question that I want to quickly touch on. I know we don't have much time, but this is a very common thing. What about things like, for example, celebrating your children's birthdays during times when, as a Shia or as a Muslim, you should be in mourning?
I think that should be the case.
You should celebrate your children.
No, you should separate.
That's
Did you
what I'm
say
saying.
separate or celebrate?
No, I'm saying there's a common trend where people be like, this Muharram Safar, okay, it's not a Shahada. It's just times outside.
Nah, there's sanctity. There's hurmah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Could you explain this? Because when you try to explain it from
It's
my
obvious.
perspective, I've said it to so many people. I'm like, why are you doing a birthday party? Nah, bro, Ashura passed 20 days ago.
La,
It's
la,
finished.
Habibi.
I'm like, Habibi, it's still
You
the
might as
time
well
of
have a wedding then.
Safar.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
That's Bani Umayyah did that
can't do
stuff.
that.
Bani
Yeah.
Umayyah, yani we're very happy on days of the tragedy of Ahlul Bayt, and naturally doing happy things is being consistent with the Sunnah. Bani Umayyah now, congratulations. There's hurmah, there's sanctity, and it could even be haram.
Yeah.
It's not that there's a hadith that says doing a birthday party on the 19th of Muharram is haram, but the result is a violation of sanctity.
Yeah.
And violation of sanctity can manifest in many ways. If it shows that you're really happy and expressive in days of mourning, and people can see that, and it undermines the sanctity of the time that we're in, then that could be forbidden to do.
Do you not feel also it raises the children, and especially children
It
of this ideology,
desensitizes them.
desensitizes them to the value of these things?
It shows them that, well, this isn't as significant as we imagined it would be, because clearly we're getting gifts and birthday presents and blowing candles and so on and so forth. Otherwise, this would be a day that I imagined would be a season of mourning. Apparently it's not. Thanks, Mama Baba. And then they bring that back down to from the 19th to the 11th to the 10th potentially. I mean, Ashura was just an afternoon. Maghrib, let's go continue the party.
Oh, damn.
To then it's just like, who cares? Ashura is a thing that happened X amount of years ago. And then that exactly desensitizes.
And recently,
set your standard very clear that this is holy.
Recently, even things like, for example, I don't know if you guys still have this, but in the culture there was Scorpion days. Islamically,
Yeah, Scorpion nights.
Scorpion nights.
Scorpion.
When the moon is in the scorpion phase of the atmosphere.
So
okay.
Islamically, you shouldn't have your nikah read in those times. There's so many things
there is a
that the
hadith,
Ahlul Bayt have said that these don't sign big business deals. Now, somebody I know was getting engaged or getting married. The Maulana refused because the parents the children said, we got the best venue. We're not going to consult our parents, so let's just book it. The Maulana came and said, I'm not reading your nikah. It's a Scorpion night. So everybody has
Interesting.
come to recite, because Maulana, like, there's a hurmah. There's a reason that Ahlul Bayt said that it brings ill luck and stuff. Now you try and tell a modern generation child who doesn't even accept the value and dignity of the nights which are outside of the 40 days, for example. Okay, this is Scorpion night. Let's not do this, bro. We can't do this business.
Like
It's not good.
what scorpion, what animal.
Exactly.
You have to start off by going to the core of things. Let them understand, what does sanctity mean, hurmah mean, what are red lines in our faith. The Quran, when it's being played, be quiet instantly. These are gradual things. And then that transfers to Ahlul Bayt, names of Ahlul Bayt. To me, Ahlul Bayt are red lines. You don't joke about them. If you're going to joke about anything else, just not the Prophet, the Imams, the Ahlul Bayt, the ulama. I've seen this a lot, unfortunately, with some people. These are the next best thing, ya shabab. And if we don't have access to the Imams directly, and we have an Imam that's ghaib, next best thing are these guys. Don't joke about them. Some will make jokes. Some will make fun. Some will make fun of ziyarah, arba'een, and things like that. Stop. You have many other things to joke about. 124,000 prophets, leave them alone. 14 ma'sumin, leave them alone. Things that represent them, leave them alone as well. And then go crazy.
Saying that we're coming to the end of our podcast and our discussion, is there any final thoughts you'd like to say towards the viewers, our brothers and sisters, in regards to the identity?
Be unapologetically Shia.
Ahsan.
Be proud of your identity. Be proud of the wilayah. Be proud of the tabarri and the tawalli as well, because this is what comprises a Shi'i. A Shi'i is someone who disassociates from the enemies of Ahlul Bayt and associates with Ahlul Bayt. You can't love the hater and you can't hate the lover, but do that with wisdom. And wisdom dictates that you know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then the best way to do it. And this is the Quranic metric. ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. And may inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the capability to debate those not only with our tongues but with our character. بالتي هي أحسن إن شاء الله تعالى.
Ahsant.
Ahsantum Sayyidina.
Go on, you got to say something.
No, bro. What can I
To
say
the
after the
viewers,
Sayyid?
for the university students out there, hiding their
For the
turbahs.
Dishtasha people.
No, I would say one thing would be that if you're a Shia, be proud that you're from the best madhab. There's a reason we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen after Surah Al-Hamd. There's a reason that we are waiting for an Imam. There's a reason that our madhab has that purity, that we were chosen before we were born to be from this faith and to be one of those that loves the Ahlul Bayt. So be proud of that. Don't be ashamed to say that I love Amir al-Mu'mineen. Even if you don't know anything about him, go and research. You know, sometimes, especially in university, because you mentioned university, a lot of the shabab feel afraid to express their faith. Express it. You're living in countries now, alhamdulillah, where they're tolerant of everything. They're tolerant of LGBT, trans. Why can't they be tolerant of your faith? So inshallah, be proud to be a Shia.
Very good point.
Thank you very much. Thank you to my guests on the Shia Vibes podcast. My final point to the viewers would be that there is more to identifying as a Shia than garments and jewelry, even decorating your body with tattoos. Like Mr. Brother Jagani said, your akhlaq and the way you treat people should be at the forefront, and you should be behaving in such a way that people will ask, who is this person and what does he follow and where does this lifestyle, where does this religion come from? And inshallah, through that, we can propagate the message of Ali Muhammad even further. Thank you for joining the Shia Vibes podcast. A big shout out to those behind the camera, the director, Muhammad Fahad. We have Muhammad Rida Ma'ash, also Salman Bai behind the scenes. Amir Raza, the whole team here at Imam Hussein TV. And we'll see you very soon here on the Shia Vibes podcast. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.